Welcome, seekers of the crossroads. In this meditation, you will be guided to cross hallowed thresholds. You will awaken new aspects of yourself, uncover truths long hidden, and allow long silent strengths to rise. You will claim your own power, stand in the company of the sacred, and grow into the fullness of who you are becoming. Each time you return, you'll find new wisdom waiting along the path. Let your heart be open, your mind at ease, and your spirit ready to listen. This journey requires your full presence. Step only into this liminal space when your body is safe and at rest. Let the outer world wait for you. Do not listen while driving, operating machinery, or attending to daily tasks, for your spirit must be free to wander here. Find a quiet place where no one will disturb you. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position and let your body grow heavy and still. Choose a single point to focus on and let your gaze linger there, soft, steady, unblinking. Inhale deeply, filling the hollow of your chest and expanding the cavern of your lungs. Hold it for a heartbeat, savoring the fullness. Then release, slow and steady, like a sigh dissolving into night. Again, inhale deeply. Feel the cool air brush your nostrils, expand within you, and stir your ribs. Hold. And exhale, letting your body soften, your mind loosen. A third time, breathe in. Hold. As you exhale, allow your eyes to gently close. For a moment, just be here. Be aware of the darkness you're in with your eyes shut. Let your mind be quiet. If thoughts or concerns arise about things that need to be done, simply notice these thoughts. Acknowledge them with a soft nod and let them drift aside. They will wait. Remember, you are not your thoughts. Here, in this stillness, you are your soul. Present, luminous, and on its own sacred journey. This is your time, your choice, your self-care. Whether your path is just beginning or has long been unfolding, this moment of meditation is meaningful, and you are worthy of this connection. Now, let your senses stretch out. Notice the gentle current of energy flowing deep beneath the earth like a river, smooth and slow. Let it draw your heaviness down and down and down. Feel that deep, steady heartbeat of the earth, ancient, unhurried, and eternal. This rhythm anchors you, connecting you to the hidden underworld. This is the thrum of primordial mystery. It is the living current of the chthonic goddess herself. In her presence, you are held. In her depths, you are steady. The world above may shift and change, but here you are rooted in her eternal earth. Now grounded in the deep pulse of the earth, feel a stillness settle within you. And from this stillness, something begins to stir. A subtle opening, a soft beckoning. You are at the threshold of this world, and with one step, you cross the veil into that liminal space that is the realm of her mysteries. Breathe. And again. Let the ordinary world soften at its edges, the noise of it, the forward pressure of it, the weight of everything that is waiting for you on the other side of this hour. Let it recede, just for now. You are going somewhere specific tonight, somewhere that has been expecting you, even if you didn't know you were coming. Something is being born within you. You may know exactly what it is. You may feel it as a presence at the edges of your awareness, not yet fully named, not yet fully claimed, but undeniably there. Something that has been gathering itself in the quiet hours, in the spaces between your ordinary life, waiting for the moment when it can step forward and be made real. That moment is now. And the ones who know how to spin what is real from what is ready, they are waiting for you. You find yourself on a narrow path at dusk. A path through the woods at the edge of summer, the trees close on either side, the light filtering through the canopy in the gold of late afternoon that is becoming evening. The air is warm and still and carries a fullness of midsummer, the sense of everything at its most alive. The year at its peak, the world abundant in a way that feels almost too much to hold. Your feet know this path, even if your mind doesn't recognize it. You have been walking toward this place for longer than you know. Ahead, through the trees, there is a light. Not the cold blue light of the moon, or the blazing white of Sirius overhead. Something warmer, more domestic. The amber light of a fire seen through a window. That glow of a place where people are home and the hearth is lit and something is cooking. The path opens into a small clearing, and there, at the center, a cottage. It is old, not dramatically ruined or mythologically grand, simply old in the way that certain places are old, having absorbed so many seasons and so much human presence that the age has become part of the structure itself. The stones of its walls are rounded at their edges, worn smooth by time and weather. The roof is thick with moss. Climbing plants have found their way up one side and seem to have been there long enough that they are no longer guests, but residents. The door is wooden, weathered and slightly ajar. Warm light spills through the gap. You approach and push the door open gently. The smell reaches you first. Rosemary and garlic and warm bread. The smell of something nourishing being prepared with care and knowledge. The smell of a kitchen that has been feeding people for a very long time. Underneath that, there is incense, something resinous and ancient, not sweet but grounding, the kind of scent that settles the mind rather than lifting it. Step inside. The space is small and completely full. Full in the way of places where things accumulate across centuries of use. Where nothing is kept without purpose, but where purpose reveals itself slowly over time. Bundles of herbs hang drying from the beams overhead. Lavender and rosemary and things you don't have names for. Their scent mingling with the incense and the cooking smells into something complex and ancient and entirely right. Jars line the shelves, some dark glass, some clay, some so old the contents are indistinguishable, stoppered and labeled in a script you almost recognize. A pot simmers over the hearth, its contents fragrant and unhurried, a meal being prepared with the patience of someone who has never been in a rush about anything. Two cats observe you from different perches with that quality of feline attention that suggests they have seen many things come through this door and found most of them only mildly interesting. And at the center of the cottage, 3 women sit working around a low wooden table. The youngest, her hands quick and sure, her attention entirely focused, sits with a spindle in her lap, drawing thread from a distaff with movements so practiced they seem almost involuntary. The thread she spins is not ordinary thread. Even in the warm amber light of the cottage, you can see that it catches the light differently, holds it differently, seems to carry within its fibers something that ordinary wool does not. She is Klotho, and she does not stop spinning when you enter. She looks up, curious, assessing, and then returns to her work. The next woman holds a measuring rod across her knees. She is settled, unhurried, and has the bearing of stillness that belongs to someone who has learned that patience is not the absence of action, but its most precise form. She studies you with eyes that seem to be calculating something, though what she is measuring you cannot quite determine. She is Lachesis. She nods once, slowly acknowledging your presence without breaking her concentration. The oldest woman sits slightly apart from the other two. Her hands are still, the only still hands in the room, resting on a pair of shears that lie closed across her lap. The shears are old, older somehow than the cottage, older than the other tools, older than anything in this room. She looks at you, and in her look is neither warmth nor coldness, but something more complete than either, the absolute, unblinking attention of someone who has seen everything and forgotten nothing. She is Atropos. You are in the presence of the three who spin and measure and cut the thread of fate. You are, you notice, not entirely solid here, present certainly, aware of the warmth, the smell, the firelight, but not quite fully embodied, as if this place requires something of you before it will receive you completely. Klotho stops spinning. Lachesis straightens, measuring rod held loosely in both hands. Atropos' eyes move to you. Her gaze feels like something physical. They know why you have come, and they are preparing to do what they have always done, to spin and measure and cut on your behalf, to determine the shape of what is being born in you according to their ancient knowledge and their ancient authority. Klotho reaches toward you, but then there is a knock at the door. The knock is not loud. It does not need to be. It is the knock of someone who knows the door will be answered. The three women go still simultaneously. And in that stillness, there is recognition. The cats look up. The pot continues to simmer. The incense continues to burn. But something in the room has shifted, the way a room shifts when someone arrives who changes its essential nature by the fact of their presence. Klotho glances at her sisters. Lachesis sets the measuring rod carefully aside on the table. Atropos' hands close tightly around the shears. "Come in," the three of them say it together, the same words from three mouths simultaneously. The door opens. The woman there does not fill the doorway dramatically, nor does she need to. She simply steps through, and with her step, something changes in the air, in the quality of the light, in the quality of everything in this room. She is tall and dark-robed, and she carries a lantern, its flame burning with a steadiness that no wind can touch. And at her sides, there are hounds, large, dark, moving with the silent certainty of creatures that belong entirely to their mistress and to no one else. This is Hekate. The Moirai look at her with the expression of those who are genuinely ancient, encountering someone who is older still. Hekate looks at them, then she looks at you, and you solidify. Whatever was uncertain or insubstantial about your presence in this cottage resolves itself in the light of her lantern. You are here, fully here, your feet on the flagstone floor, the warmth of the hearth on your face, and the smell of the rosemary and bread and incense are real and immediate and present. You are here, fully here, your feet on the flagstone floor. Hecate steps further into the room. The herbs on the beams begin to rise slowly, like something being lifted. The jars on the shelves, the pot over the hearth. The cats, unhurried and dignified, drop from their perches and simply are no longer there. The walls begin to thin, the ceiling to dissolve, and where the domestic warmth of the cottage was, there is the vast breathing dark of the cosmos. Stars glitter overhead in the thousands. The Milky Way runs like a river of cold fire from horizon to horizon, and Sirius blazes at its brightest. What remains is the flagstone floor where you stand, the low wooden table, the spindle and the measuring rod and the shears, the 3 Moirai, their seats, and you standing solid and present in Hecate's lantern light, and Hecate herself and hounds at her sides. She says, "This one has traveled with me before. When I was Hekate Basileia, I vouch for their sovereignty and for their courage." The cosmos seems to breathe overhead. Hecate turns her eyes toward the youngest of the women, Klotho, your spindle. Klotho is still for a moment. In all the ages of the world, in all the souls whose threads she has spun, this has not happened before. The spindle has always been hers. The spinning has always been hers. The determining of what thread is given to what life has always been the work of her hands alone. But Hecate has spoken. And Klotho, who is young among her sisters but ancient beyond any other reckoning, understands what is being asked. More than that, she understands why. She peers at you with new eyes, not the assessing eyes of someone determining what thread to spin, but the curious eyes of someone meeting, for the first time, the person who will spin their own. She rises and comes to you. The spindle in her hands is extraordinary up close. You were not prepared for what it is. Not a simple wooden tool, but something that seems to exist at the boundary between the material and the immaterial. Its shaft is warm to the eye, though you haven't touched it yet. The thread already wound around it is glowing faintly with a light that is not the lantern's light, and not the starlight overhead, but something specific to itself. The thread of possibility, of what has not yet been named, and therefore has not yet been real. She holds the spindle out to you. Before you take the spindle, feel into this moment. Feel the weight of what is being offered. Feel the sensation of standing at the threshold of your own sovereign act. Not where someone else is spinning your fate, but where you, taking the tool in your own hands, are accepting the responsibility of naming what is being born in this moment. Hecate has vouched for your courage. Take the spindle. Feel it in your hands, warm, alive with a vibration that moves up through your palms and into your arms. A frequency of pure potential and of everything that exists in this space right now. The thread responds to your touch, shifting slightly and orienting toward you. Softly, Klotho speaks. The spindle asks only one thing of the spinner, that what you name is real, not the hope of it or the wish of it, but the truth of it. You cannot spin what has not been named. Consider what is being born in you, not a vague longing, not that someday maybe, the specific, actual present truth of what is ready to have a thread spun for it. In the quiet of your own knowing, name what is being born in you. Feel the spindle respond as you name this desire, this hope, this truth you will manifest. The thread is beginning to move, slowly, finding its direction, the fiber of your named thing beginning to take form in the material that Klotho has spent eternity learning to work. The thread is moving and alive. What you have named is real now in a way that it was not before. Klotho watches with something that might, in someone younger and less ancient, be called wonder. You return the spindle to her hands. She takes it with the careful reverence of someone receiving something that has been changed by where it has been. Hecate's lantern holds steady. She says, Lachesis. Lachesis rises with the measuring rod already in her hands. She is different from her younger sister, more deliberate, and she has the demeanor of someone whose entire function is to see clearly and accurately without flinching from what they find. She has been measuring since long before you were born, and she will still be measuring after everything you build has run its course. She comes to stand before you. From where you stand, you can feel the precision of the measuring rod. You can tell that it wants to be held exactly right, to be used exactly right, to return only accurate information to whoever wields it. There is no mercy in it, not because it is cruel, but because mercy would make it useless. Lachesis measures what is true, nothing more and nothing less. She extends it to you. Accept the measuring rod into your hands. Feel its cool exactness. The weight of it is surprisingly substantial, present and impossible to hold carelessly. It asks you to be serious. It asks you to set aside the comfortable approximations you usually make about your own capacity and commitment, and to look at what is actually proportionately true. Lachesis says, the rod measures only what is genuine, not what you hope to bring, what you will actually bring, not what you wish your capacity was, what truly is. The thread that you just named will grow to be exactly the length of what you honestly offer it, no longer, no shorter. What are you genuinely bringing to what was just named? Not the aspiration, not the performance of commitment, the actual, proportionate, honest truth of what you are willing and able to sustain. The time, the courage, the showing up when it is inconvenient, the continuing when it is difficult. The depth of your genuine investment in this is being born. Measure it honestly right now. The rod in your hands registers what you have found. Not judging the measure, there is no judgment here, only accuracy. Whatever the true scope of your commitment is, that is what the thread will be. That is enough. That is what it is. Return the rod to Lachesis. She receives it, looks at what it holds, and nods once, the nod of someone whose work has been done accurately, and she steps back. Still, Hecate's lantern holds steady. Atropos. The oldest of the three women moves differently from her sisters. Not slowly, but with a deliberateness that is different from slowness. The deliberateness of someone for whom every movement is considered, because every movement matters. She has been here since the beginning of everything that has beginnings. She will be here at the end of everything that ends. She stops before you. The shears are the most extraordinary of the three tools. You feel them before she reaches you, a presence that is almost atmospheric, a weight in the air around them that has nothing to do with their physical size. They are old in a way that the word old doesn't adequately describe. They have cut threads beyond counting. Every life that has ever begun has also, in its time, been cut to its proper length by these shears. Every ending that has ever been a completion, rather than a tragedy, has passed through these blades. She offers them to you. This is the moment of greatest weight, because what Atropos cuts stays cut. What is severed by these shears does not grow back, does not reattach, does not become available again as an option you were keeping open just in case. Take the shears into your hands. They are cold, certain in the way that only truly ancient things can be certain. Atropos speaks, her voice quiet. The shears ask only this: what is finished? What door once closed stays closed? What are you willing to make complete and final, so that what was named can have the space it requires? You must cut cleanly. A clean cut is a kindness to the thing being released and to the thing being born. Ask yourself now, what needs to be cut? What you know, in the place beneath rationalizing and hoping and the comfortable postponement of decisions that feel permanent. What needs to be finished, completed, set down with the finality of Atropos' shears so that the thread being spun has room to run its full measured length without snagging. What needs to be cut? The shears vibrate slightly in your hands. When you are ready, make the cut. As soon as the thread is severed, you feel what that has cost, and you feel what it has opened. Both things are true simultaneously. The cut is real, and it takes something, and the space it opens is also real, and it gives something. It gives room and clarity and the freedom of a decision that has been made completely, rather than held in the painful suspension of almost decided. Hand the shears back to Atropos. She receives them with the careful gravity of someone who understands exactly what has just happened. In her ancient eyes, there is something that is not warmth, but exactly its own form of recognition. You have done what very few are asked to do. You have held the shears of fate in your own hands and made your own cut. She steps back. The three Moirai stand in a line before you. Klotho with her spindle, the named thing moving on its thread. Lachesis with her rod, the true measure of what you are bringing. And Atropos with her shears, the clean cut made, the space opened. And Hecate stands behind them, lantern raised, its light falling on all of it, on the tools and the three women and you standing sovereign in the cosmos open space where the cottage used to be, the flagstone floor solid beneath your feet, and the stars blazing overhead. Hecate does not speak. She does not need to. She vouched for your sovereignty and your courage. You have demonstrated both. The work has been done, not by the Moirai acting upon you, but by you, wielding their tools with your own hands, naming your own thread, measuring your own commitment, and making your own cut. Your fate in this moment has been your own. This is what Hekate Klôthaiê offers in her liminal realm. Not the certainty of what will be, but the sovereignty of who does the spinning. Feel into that for a moment. Feel the cosmos overhead, the stars that have been witness to this working, the lantern light that held everything clearly enough to be seen and acted upon. Feel what has been named, the thread of it moving outward from this moment into the world, into the future, into the life that receives what you have just set in motion. Feel the honest measure of what you are bringing to it. Not more than you have, but exactly what you have to give. And the quiet confidence of knowing that what you genuinely bring is enough for the thread you named. Feel the clean space where the cut was made. Feel the freedom of your fully made decision, of that door now closed, standing as an honest boundary rather than an agonizing uncertainty. You have chosen. You have made a decision. This is what you came here for. This is what is being born. Slowly, the cottage begins to reappear, not replacing what the cosmos showed you, not covering it over or making it less true, but settling around you the way morning settles around a dream. The walls come back, the ceiling, the herbs overhead, and the jars on the shelves, and the incense and the pot over the hearth, still simmering its patient, nourishing meal. The cats reappear, because of course they do. The three Moirai are seated again at the table, their tools back in their own hands, and they look at you differently than they did when you arrived. Not with the assessing eyes of those who determine another's fate, but with the quiet recognition of those who have witnessed someone determining their own. Hecate moves toward the door. She pauses at the threshold and looks back at you. The lantern in her hand burns steady. Her hounds slip past her and outside. She steps through then, and she is gone. But the light of her lantern lingers for a moment, as if that light has been given rather than taken, as if she left it deliberately. You carry some of that light with you as you move toward the door yourself. The path back through the summer wood is the same path that brought you here, but you walk it differently. The weight of the unnamed thing is no longer a weight. It has become a thread, moving forward from this moment with the momentum of something that has been named and measured and given room to run its full length. The woodland opens. The ordinary world is waiting, and in it, the thing you named is already beginning to be real. And now, gently begin to return. Feel the sacred space around you begin to soften and recede. Not gone, but stepping back like a tide drawing slowly from the shore. What you have experienced here remains with you. What you have received is yours to keep. Begin to feel the weight of your body again, the surface beneath you, the air against your skin, the slow, steady rhythm of your breath moving in and out, in and out, anchoring you back to this moment, this place, this self. Curl your toes like the fibers drawn onto Klotho's spindle, and stretch your fingers like the thread running forward from this moment into the life that receives what was named tonight. Inhale the fullness of your own sovereign act, the naming, the honest measure, and the clean cut. Feel the deep heartbeat of the earth beneath you, that ancient unhurried pulse, and let it draw you gently back, not away from what you found in the sacred space, but back into the body that will carry it forward. When you're ready, take one deep breath. Fill the hollow of your chest. Expand the cavern of your lungs. And exhale fully, a long, slow release that completes this journey and begins the next. When it feels right, open your eyes. Carry what you found here into the world that is waiting for you. It is changed by your having gone where you just went, and so are you. Welcome back. I strongly suggest you make time to journal after this meditation. What did you name? What did you honestly measure? What did you cut? Write all three down, specifically, clearly, and in your own words. The Moirai witnessed it. Hecate vouched for it. Now write it down so you can witness it too. The thread is moving. Don't lose track of what it carries. If this meditation served you, I'd be grateful if you'd share it with someone who might need it. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you'd like to go deeper through books, music, readings, and more of this work, find me at rookwood.com, find me at rookwoodmoon.com, or LRR or LRR.rocks. Until next time, remember, you are more than enough for everything ahead of you. Blessed be. Lantern and Keys, 13 Meditations with Hecate, a fully illustrated devotional guide of 13 immersive meditations, spellwork, and transformative practice with 13 different epithets of Hecate, is available now in signed and unsigned print copies and ebook editions. See the links below or go to rookwoodmoon.com and click the store button.